Sarah, can you give us the latest situation in Juba?
Well, what is happening now is that mediators have finally been able to meet Riek Machar. They met him over the weekend, that is a rebel leader, and trying to convince him to agree to a ceasefire, because Machar says that talks in Addis Ababa cannot continue until 11 of the detainees are released, because they say some of those people among the detainees are the ones who should be in his mediation team. But the South Sudan government has, of course, said it will not be releasing them. So what is happening now is that they are pushing for a ceasefire to be agreed to by Riek Machar's team.
Sarah, why has the latest peace missions failed in that part of the world? And I think more importantly, why is a lasting peace so difficult there?
Well, what happened is that because Riek Machar feels that his side has been sidelined over the years, he complains that Salva Kiir is a dictator, and he says even before the rebellion that happened or the mutiny that happened on December 15th happened, they had been complaining even within the party ranks that there was dictatorship, there was a lack of cooperation from the ruling party, and so they say that unless Salva Kiir starts listening to them, and unless their grievances are heard, then it is likely that fighting will continue. But also, it's also interesting because in some cases, he has been quoted as saying that he will actually agree to a ceasefire only if Salva Kiir agrees to step down. Of course, IGAD mediators and the IGAD, that is the East African leaders, saying that Salva Kiir is a democratically elected president, and so he will not be removed from office by power. Elections is supposed to be in 2015, that is next year.
Sarah, let's look at the human face. Ordinary people in that part of the world have asked for the violence to come to an end. Just tell us about the human cost and the situation with refugees in the area there.
Well, take for example, in the East African region, Uganda has received the bulk of refugees. According to the UN Refugee Agency, they're receiving up to 2,000 refugees every day. Neighboring Kenya receiving about 300 every day. But also inside South Sudan itself, there are a lot of internally displaced persons, most of them opting to stay in the UN compounds where they're finding relative security, where there is food, there is water. But the UN humanitarian coordinator, Toby Lance, saying that they are also running out of supplies, and also because there is no exact humanitarian corridor for them to be able to continue providing supplies. Take, for example, Doctors Without Borders saying their offices in Bentiu were looted on Friday. And so it's such things that are making our humanitarian assistance very difficult. There is an outbreak of cholera in some areas because there's not enough clean water. Doctors, remember, even before the violence, South Sudan has depended on doctors for their medical aid and for their medical facilities. So now, with the doctors stretched and with the looting continuing, it becomes difficult for humanitarian assistance, which most of the people are in need.
Sarah, I wanted to ask you about the UN's cutting of the links with the government in that country. How will that affect the refugee situation, you think?
Well, the United Nations is still saying the war during the civil war and the remain. The problem they're having is that they're running out of supplies. They made an appeal last week saying that they will need up to $100 million to be able, in the short term, to provide the needed humanitarian assistance. There are also a lot of other aid agencies that are operating in the country, and we expect that there's going to be a global humanitarian appeal for South Sudan anytime this week.
Sarah Kimani, thank you very much for that contribution. That is our East African correspondent, Sara Kimani, giving us an update on the situation in war-torn South Sudan there.